Let's review the opening process for the express vote unit. Each express vote unit will come in its own black carry case. Be sure to unzip the case, remove the unit, and remove the power cord from the case. Set the unit up on a table. There's a small metal kickstand that extends in the back. You'll want to take the power block, plug it into the back of the unit, and plug the unit into a wall for power. To begin opening the poles on the express vote unit, we will take our black and silver barrel key and we will open the small security door on the side of the unit. When we open the security door, it reveals the power button and the mode button. To turn the unit on, we will switch the power button from the off position to the on position. When we do, the unit will begin to power on. Once the unit powers on fully, you'll be prompted to enter the election code. Be sure to enter the code provided by your county elections office. When the code is entered, press accept. When we press accept, we're asked to wait as it verifies the code that we entered. A couple of things to point out on this screen. It tells us the election that we are using. It tells us that the power is running on AC, and it tells us that the battery is fully charged. So, to continue and finish setting up the express vote, we will press OK. Before we have voters mark their ballots on the express vote, we're going to be sure to close the security door on the side and lock it securely. The unit is now ready for voting. Let's review a couple of important features for the express vote unit. When the unit is powered on and the polls are open, there's polling information that can be found here at the top. There's also important election information, including the election date. There are two ports at the bottom of the express vote unit. One is for headphones. To use the headphones, you simply plug them in to the headphone port. There's also a second port for anyone who has any other type of accessibility device, like a sip and puff device, for example. On the side of the unit, included on every unit, is a tactile keypad. This will be the keypad that voters could use to navigate through the ballot and make their selections. There's a tempo button, a volume button, up, down, back, forward, pause, and a home button. There's also a button here at the top that can hide the screen as voters mark their ballot in privacy. To mark a ballot using the express vote unit, a voter will receive a blank express vote activation card that looks like this. Poll workers will remove a stub from the bottom of the card before issuing it to a voter. When the voter receives their blank activation card, they'll take it to the express vote unit and they will insert it with the cut corner as it appears on the unit. When we insert the card, the unit will accept it, it will scan the card, and it will pull up our ballot style.
If you are a at-large municipality, when the card is inserted with the top corner cut aligned with the corner cut on the machine, the ballot will populate on the screen and the voting session will begin. If you're a poll worker in a precinct that is voting by district, the activation card will be inserted. You as a polling official will need to touch on screen which ballot style that person is entitled to vote to begin the voting session. Once the voter completes that session, they will have a review page, review their selections on screen, verify that, touch print. When the card is printed, they then carry that card to the DS200 to scan for tabulation.
To begin marking a ballot, we choose our selection for each race that appears. We touch Next to continue through the ballot. If we make a selection and we choose to make a separate selection, or we simply made a mistake, we could touch a new selection and the previous selection disappears. At the bottom of the screen, we have an option to zoom to make the text larger. We also have an option to make the screen contrast, to change it to black and white. We could continue making our selections. This is a vote for 2. When we finish making all of our selections, we come to the review screen. The review screen will show us each one of the races and the choices that we made for each of those races. If there's anything that we see here that we feel like we need to go back and change, we can simply choose that race. It takes us back to that race. We can make a new choice. When we press next, it goes back to the review screen and it highlights the choices that we made. At this point, if we have verified our selections and we're ready to mark our ballot, we touch Next and we touch Print Card. When we print card, the unit will take the blank Express Vote activation card that we used to activate the machine. It will return it to us and it will have each one of the races and the selections that we made. At this point, we're ready to take our ballot to the DS200, scan it into the DS200 for tabulation. Next, let's go through the closing process on the Express Vote unit. To close down the unit at the end of the day, after the polls close, we'll open the side security door using our barrel key. We'll open the door to reveal the power button. To close down, all we do is simply turn the unit off. We switch from on to off, and the unit will begin to power down. We'll close and lock our security door back. And the unit will begin the close down process. Once the unit is fully powered down, we'll remove the power cord from the wall. We will remove the cord from the back of the unit, and we will place the unit and the power cord back in the black soft-sided carrying case for transport.